Okay, for tonight's homework, I'm going to have you copy down on paper the work for these two problems, and then I'm going to have you write down the 5 words to show me that you listened. So this first one, again, I want you to draw this on paper. I'm going to have you rotate this 90 degrees clockwise, and then I'm going to have you rotate this counterclockwise. I want you to see what happens to the coordinates. So this first triangle, that is triangle ABC. I'm going to rotate that clockwise, just like the hands of a clock, going right to left, right to left. That's a clock, clockwise. So that is this direction, which means I'm turning it around the origin here until I can see that arrow turn a quarter turn to the right. I'm going to have you label A, which is going to be 4, 3. B is going to be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and C is going to be 6, 6. So label that. A is 4, 3, B is 4, 6, and C is 6, 6. The first word is whale. Whale. Alright, first thing I'm going to have you do is rotate that a quarter turn to the right. That little arrow I use, that little arrow just shows you how I'm turning around this origin, around the spot. So if I draw an arrow out of that spot, it's rotating around. If I see that arrow turn a quarter turn, I know that's the direction of my triangle where that's going to go. So a quarter turn around that origin puts the triangle down here. So if I write those coordinates, A, B, and C, A prime, B prime, and C prime, you should see that if you turn a quarter turn to the right, the points are going to flip, and then the right side's going to be opposite. So when you turn it to the right, flip the points 4 and 3, so it's 3 and 4, and then make that right side coordinate opposite, so the opposite of 4 is -4. Flip 4, 6 to be 6, -4. Flip 6, 6 to be -6, 6. And you could see all of these, I flipped them, and then I made the y coordinate opposite. So I flipped them around, so this 4 and 3 became 3 and 4, and I made the right side opposite. Always happens that way. Quarter turn to the right, flip the points around, and make that y coordinate opposite. Then I'm going to have you do a quarter turn to the left. I want you to see how it affects the points doing a turn to the left. So if I take that same triangle, the second word is dog. Dog. If I take that triangle and do a counterclockwise, going against the way a clock turns, counterclockwise, it should end up over here somewhere. And again, I want you to see what happens to those coordinates. So a quarter turn to the left around the origin gives me these 2 points, or these new points right here, which are A prime, B prime, C prime. I'm going to have you calling this just prime because you're not doing a double translation. And then you could see a quarter turn to the left. I also flip the points around, but I make the left one opposite. So quarter turn to the left, flip the points, make the x1 the opposite of what it was. Flip the points, make the x1 opposite of what it was. So the opposite of 4, 3 is 3, 4, with the x1 made opposite, negative, -6, 4. And again, those are the triangle's new positions after rotations. Notice again, when you turn to the right, flip the points around, make that right point opposite. When you turn a quarter turn to the left, flip the points around, make the x1 opposite. Alright, next problem, I'm going to have you do one more of these on graph paper. So try to draw this, write these, draw your little arrow going up. A is going to be the point -2, 1. B is going to be -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -7, -1. and C is -7, -3. So -2, -1, -7, -1, and -7, -3 for C. Alright, I'm going to have you do a quarter turn clockwise, which will bring this about up here, and then I'm going to have you do a quarter turn counterclockwise down to here. Quarter turn clockwise, the way the arrows of a clock go, right to left, is going to turn a quarter turn 90 degrees from here to here. I'm going to watch that arrow go. So if I rotate that around the origin 90 degrees and stop, my new coordinates for A prime, B prime, C prime will be related to these. Will be the flip and the right one made opposite. So a quarter turn to the right, I take each coordinate and flip it around, but I make the right one opposite. So -2, -1, I flip it, and I make that right side opposite of -2, which is +2. Flip -7, -1 to be -1, and 7 opposite, positive. -3, +7. And again, that makes sense. -1, +2, -1, +7, -3, +7. Again, I flipped the points around and made the y coordinate opposite. Always happens. Flip the points around when you turn to the right and make that right coordinate opposite. The third word is horse. Horse. Alright, the next one, I'm going to have you turn a quarter turn to the left. So I'm going to have you go back to that triangle. And instead of a quarter turn to the right, I'm going to have you do a quarter turn to the left. And that stops right there. And then you can see my new points. A prime, B prime, C prime. Are the same points but flipped, but the left side made negative because you're turning to the left or opposite. So -1, 2 made opposite is +1, -2. B made opposite is +1, -7. So again, the points flipped and the left side number made negative. So again, the points flipped and the left side made negative or opposite. So A, -1, -2 with that -1 made opposite, 1 becomes +1. And don't write negative right there. That's going to be positive. +1, -2. And again, I'm going to erase this because I'm making a little mistake here. So again, flip these. So it's -1, -2. And make the left side opposite. So +1, -2. Flip-flop. -1, -7. But make that left side opposite. So that's going to be 1, -7. And C, flip it around. Opposite of -3 is 3. And then -7. And that makes sense too. 1, -2. +1, -7. +3, -7. Again, notice when I turn it to the left, I flip the points around and made the left one opposite. When I turn it to the right, I flip it around and made the right one opposite. What I also need you to know is when you're doing these, we also have been doing the other kind of transformations. So just real quick, I want you to look at those. The two other kind of transformations are a slide, where you're not rotating and flipping points around, where you're actually sliding it to a different location, following either my words. I'll either say move it left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll say left 7, down 3. So you move every point left 7, down 3. Or I'll give you this vector which shows you the direction you're moving in that same left 7 down 3 pattern. So every point, left 7 down 3, A, left 7 down 3, C, left 7 down 3. That's a slide. The fourth word is cow. Cow. The other kind of transformation is a flip, a reflection, where you count how many boxes on either side of the line you're reflecting equal distance. The original A is 3 above that line I'm reflecting. The new A prime is 3 below. So know the difference between a slide, where the points just move, a flip, and then today's rotation. So the fifth word is crow. Crow. Good luck.